Alright guys, what's up? So really quick, I just wanted to show off what it is that I got working on. So as you can see, this is just medium poly King K. Rool up in here. Well, I guess I don't know. It could be high poly depending on what kind of project you're working on, but for what I'm doing, I feel like this is about medium poly, right? I don't know. Don't trust me. Don't trust a single word I'm saying right now. But yeah, no, I've been pretty happy with how the geometry on this turned out. A lot of this is basically just remodeling of the Nintendo 64 model of King K. Rool in ZBrush, and then porting it over to Maya. Yeah, but as you can see, it's nothing really fancy, but I've been really happy with how the skin turned out. I was looking up inspiration, and I saw that there was a guy that was working on the Toad from Chrono Trigger, and he had this really great idea of doing basically this skin here, but then blending in little warts, little bits like that. And so just in ZBrush, using clay and Damien Standard, manually went in and just put in all of these little blemishes, I guess you could say, these crocodile blemishes on the surface of the skin there. I'm not really happy with how the belly is turning out so far. I see that there's kind of like a little bit of a blended seam right there from when I was using Surface Painter, but I don't know. All in all, it's coming along the way that I want it to. I'm mainly happy with the green part of the skin, mainly. Obviously, I need to go in and touch up the inside of the mouth, those textures a little bit. Actually, let's see if we can get those going. Yeah, so like right here, yeah, you can kind of see what my my texture map is looking like. It's not super organized for how I would normally want to do this. I actually had to split up the head, I think, into 3 pieces, just because of the way that the eyes were deforming as a texture map. And so, yeah, here's probably my biggest problem is that belly, just trying to get that to look like how it did in the older games. I was thinking about separating just some geometry here, cutting this out, making it its own separate piece, and then just giving it its own shader to kind of get around those main issues that I'm seeing. But I really don't want to do that. If I can all do it with one texture map, that would probably be better. But yeah, at the present time, that's kind of what it's looking like. I'm really happy with how the eyes turned out. So right now, these are kind of placeholders. I do have one without the geometry on there. I was more using that to see if I had messed up in creating the texture map. Because actually, yeah, I don't know if you can see how the light kind of is highlight left, fade right, and then here it's highlight bottom, fade up. From a distance, you can't really tell, so I'm kind of fine with it. But yeah, and as you can see with the King K. Rool's famous agitated eye here, did a lot of manual veins, just kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there was three layers of veins that I drew for this map, as well as just this general reddening around the side, just using simple layer effects. The cape, of course, was also rendered. The texture was created in Substance Painter 2. I'm pretty sure that that's it, right? Yeah, I'm not just kidding myself. Yeah, it's Substance Painter. For some reason, I always think that the name of the program is something different. But yeah, so the texture map, all done in Substance Painter. I kind of wanted like a red carpet look. Right now, this is just a placeholder spec map. It's probably going to be changed really soon. Right now, I'm just using a simple gene texture that I just kind of tweaked a little bit. Obviously, not planning on sticking with that. Want to go with something that I've made myself. Right now, the gold on the crown and the wristbands is just one texture. It's not actually mapped to the material here. So clearly, as you can see, there's like a lot of really weird seams and things like that. I'm kind of also not super happy with the crown right now. I want to definitely tweak that, come up with something different, maybe something as well a little bit better looking for the wristbands, just geometry-wise. I like the overall shape of it. I like having the big piece here and then kind of having like the separate side to kind of cap it off. I like that. I'm digging that. This right here was modeled entirely in Maya. Basically, the gold and the gem here were... Oh, and the teeth and tongue. I guess also the eyes. Okay, well, basically, it's kind of half and half. Half Maya, half ZBrush. The actual body mesh and the cape were modeled in ZBrush and then ported over to Maya. Yeah, but all in all, I'm digging the look of this. This is something that I've been pretty happy with. I'm also really enjoying figuring out the dynamic cape physics. As you can see, there's still some clipping issues that need to be worked on with the butt here a little bit. But yeah, well, also, here's something, is that, let me just see if I can get this going on. But yeah, right now, he's got a really simple rig going on. I don't have any IK handles or anything like that. There are some issues with, as you can see, the weight mapping is not done yet. But that's also because this rig is just really limited in what it... I don't even know if this is like a good showcase like rig. This is really just making sure that I could figure out the dynamic cape physics. There needed to be some bones here. Just figured why not. And I can always just go back and tweak them the way that I need them to be. But yeah, no, that's how it is that this model in particular is going. I've been pretty happy, like I said, with it. You know, yeah. Just one small thing that's really bugging me. I've been trying to... Oh, don't know what I did there. Do not know what I did. But yeah. Jiminy Christmas. I don't know what's happening there. But yeah. With the crown, I'm not really digging I don't know what you call the pointy parts of the crown. I wanted to go with like 7 points and things like that. Just something that was really aesthetically pleasing. And I really wanted to give it like some actual texture and not just be like his default crown that you see in the games. That's just metal. And also I didn't want to give him like these crazy... I don't even know if they're crazy, but the wristbands that he's had in the more recent games, the non-rareware games, where he's got these just really yellow wristbands, you know? They don't really look like gold. They look like, I don't know, just some sort of weird yellow things. I don't know. Someone with a better vocabulary help me out. I don't really know how to articulate what what's wrong with them per se. They don't look. I like the rareware design for King K. Rool, and I feel like that's what I've tried to go back to. More of a dark green for his skin, and not just Japanesey style scales, but more of like I know that rareware is mostly British guys. Well, they were at the time, but I don't know. I feel like it's definitely more of like a Occidental Western style approach to doing scales and things like that. Especially with their old renders, you know, it was a lot of these like bumps just all over the Kremlings, you know. So trying to go back to that. The claws, obviously, I'm still kind of figuring out a little bit. The feet, I went for more of like a Godzilla Reptar type deal. Just because I felt like with his default feet, they, at least in the rareware design, and I feel like it was just more of a limitation of the time. Really, all they could do was have a big kind of fat ball here that connects to a few other little fat balls. Got these motorcycles running around outside, causing a ruckus. Yeah. Actually, let's turn off these X-ray joints right now. These teeth are just simple polygon pyramids. You know, classic polygon pyramids, which I actually think is exactly how they look in the N64 model. But I actually kind of like that. I don't know. It also, with the catching of the light on them, it's actually really hard to, I don't know, it's pretty difficult to notice that they're not, like, smooth meshes, you know? And also from a distance, I feel like it just gives them, like, a really sharp appearance versus being round. And as well as just saving on, you know, CPU usage, because it's just simple, like, there's like 4 faces to one of these, so I mean it saves a lot of brain power for rendering and things like that. Yeah, but that's just King K. Rool. Another project that I'm working on is Wizpig, which some of you might remember from Diddy Kong Racing. Just gonna wait for this to load for a second. But yeah, no, Wizpig, absolute joy to work on. If joy is a word that can be used. You know, there's, I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to figure something out here. By the way, are you guys hyped for this new Alien movie? It's directed by Ridley Scott. He's probably the spookiest guy in Hollywood, doing all sorts of spooky, you know. I'm dumb. Just ignore me. But yeah. So here we are with our pig boy. And so this is actually a mesh that I'm a lot happier with than King K. Rool. It's obviously a lot easier to control deformation and things like that. The bones, the rigging, whatever, that's just ignore that. That's bad. That's bad on its own. So the eyes are something that I'm still trying to figure out how to get the right look for. Yeah, I guess just to start off this little tour, this is something I'm not happy with, right? I mean, let's start with that. No. So this is actually also same deal. I took the N64 model, using Z-Spheres and ZBrush, just went and built in the shape, got it to match roughly about the same build, the same proportions, and then just kind of went in, added detail, kind of had it look as if these sleeves are almost like rolled up, as if they can go all the way down. At first I was thinking about doing kind of like the wizard droopy sleeves, but I kind of liked that it almost looked a little bit like a onesie, almost, for this mage pig, you know. I also tried to add a bunch of like these little rumples, you know, into his suit. And really, I guess just my main inspiration is trying to go with a comedic, kind of a funny look, just kind of in the vein of Rareware. I think that a lot of people miss that the point of a lot of their Donkey Kong designs were comedy-based. They were trying to make funny characters. They were trying to tell a joke, basically, with how a lot of these things looked. They weren't just, although I guess this is partly true, but, you know, British guys on drugs. A lot of it also is that they are, you know, guys that just were funny people. Sorry, I'm trying to get it so that I can just isolate this cape without losing it. Yeah, so with the cape, again, most of these textures, no, actually all the textures are done in Substance Painter, and then just ported back to Maya. I'm just going to turn off these joints in a lot of these views. I feel like they're kind of getting in the way, and I don't want to have to hide them, because I'm stupid. That's what it is. I mean, it would be smarter to do that, and I just went and did it the long way. So the embroidery for this is probably my favorite part of this whole design. It also probably took the longest of all the texturing that was done. So I really wanted to go for an authentic embroidered look. I feel like it looks like pretty much like it was really embroidered for the most part. But anyone who has tried this before knows that basically the best way to get this effect is in Adobe Illustrator. And the reason for that is because they do have a little stylize function there. And it's really easy to take just simple layers like this and turn it into something like that. The hard part, I will say, was getting it attached to a normal map. I don't have Endo or anything like that. For anyone who's used Endo 2, you know how useful that program is. I don't have it anymore. I did have the trial for a while and loved it, but just never sprang for it, never spent the extra gold, so to speak. Which was a big mistake, probably one of the biggest of my life, other than, you know, just bad romantic decisions. Let's just see if we can sculpt a tear here on the world's smallest violin. Our pig here, fantastic. Turn of events here. Went for different brushstrokes for each layer of this. So, for example, in Illustrator, this shadow here would be its own selection. This one here, its own selection. Same with that. They're not connected at all. I wanted this side to have its own stroke. As you can see, it's kind of going this way. This one's going this way. I'm sure you could probably accomplish a similar effect in Photoshop, but definitely not on the same quality level, I don't think. As you can see, there's just little variations in there that really sell you on it. And I mean, unless you're like a genius, like an idiot savant, you can get in there and be like, yep, I know that these 5 pixels right here absolutely need to be like downstroke like that, and I'm just gonna be able to come up with that on my own. Yeah, dude, if you're a machine, then by all means, go ahead and try and do that in Photoshop. Good luck. Yeah, but actually, for the normal mapping, blending the normal maps together, what I did was I ported this into, there's an online service that converts images to normals. It's not the best. It's free, so I mean, and it's done in browser, so you don't need to download anything and worry about that consuming space on your hard drive. No, you just do that, well, I guess technically there is the program that you need to blend the two normals. You do need to download, but I don't even remember what it's called. Let's get away from this. I'm starting to ramble about normal mapping. But yeah, no, that was just kind of like my own little thing. I was like, oh, well, what if he's just kind of egotistical? This belt is going to be changed. This is obviously just a placeholder, in case you can't tell. I saw something on Pinterest where there was a drawing of Wizpig, and he had like a pig head, like a full 3D sculpted pig head of gold, the tightest cape together. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I would rather do it something like this, where it's like a little emblem that looks like a pig's head, and obviously this is just something stupid. I mean, let's just get rid of that now. It's stupid. But yeah, I was thinking for the belt, do like a full like pig head, and I was thinking about just using, as you can see, I need to retopologize this super bad, which is kind of a shame. I was thinking about just killing myself, because that would be a nightmare to try to do. I don't know, maybe, I think in ZBrush there's a way to maintain your UVs and use the remesher, so I might do that, and then just clean up in Maya a little bit as best I can. Because I'm not going to lie, I hate retopologizing. I hate it. If you're someone who likes it, you're a sick person. You're into weird fantasy stuff that I'm not into. There is a seam on the actual skin texture, which, by the way, for the most part, I'm really loving the skin texture on this. Let me see if I can... yeah, as you can see, this is the eyes here for Wizpig. I'm digging them for the most part. I like the kind of crazed double circle look. But yeah, as you can see, this is kind of what the socket looks like. It's kind of got these dark bags that I really like. So I don't know. Here's my dilemma with the eyes and why there's two of them. I really like the idea of his eyes glowing and being kind of spooky and mysterious, but at the same time I really like the idea of just this right here, the normal eyes. And so I was thinking, have the lower layer be an emissive layer, and then have the eyes kind of block out the light a little bit, and then, you know, have the overlayer kind of just be like a translucency over the top, so like the light isn't too strong, and at the same time it's like, you know, you're kind of like, oh man, the blocking of the glow isn't like too extreme to the point where it's like, you know, why are you here? But yeah, so that was my thinking. Obviously, it's not a good idea. I know it's super interesting to watch me just go through and criticize my own artwork, but this is just more what I'm working on. The hair is... in all the screenshots, I can never tell if his hair is supposed to be, in quotes, black or gray. I keep seeing a lot of gray, and I keep seeing black. I don't even want to mess with it. I'm kind of happy with it the way it is, although I'm thinking about making it more gray. I feel like it might be too dark, just in contrast to his skin and everything. This is his yarmulke. Just kidding, I don't know. It looks like a yarmulke. I mean, I don't know. This was done in Substance Painter. This is just super low quality. Like, this is like PlayStation 1 era quality to me in terms of texture. So yeah, I'm thinking about redoing this whole hat in Maya. Same thing with the belt. I don't know if I want to take that into ZBrush. I feel like I might be able to make something pretty substantial in Maya that would look good as well. The cowl and everything, obviously, this is all just Substance Painter. But yeah, with the skin, I was really happy with this versus the King K. Rool skin. I feel like they're both just, for whatever reason, they came out really nice. I really liked a lot of the warmer areas in it. Also kind of like the splotchiness, kind of freckly almost. I don't know if I'd say freckly because that's racist. But yeah, this was probably my favorite part of literally this whole thing. Were these hands. I just loved working on these hands. Oh my goodness. Like sculpting in this little detail here, the kind of folds of the hands. I feel like once I get this properly rigged and get the weights set up the way that I want them to, these hands will be just gold for me. I also really dig the warm spots in here. It looks like he's been grabbing something, which is going to be good for when it's actually animated. The cheeks might be a little too rosy. I kind of liked it at first because I was like, hey, it's kind of cartoony, kind of jack-o'-lantern-y. Now I'm not super feeling it. I don't know why I've just been living in multi-view for whatever reason, like a goon. Yeah, also speculars, same thing in here. All just placeholder for now. Just textures that it is that I've either found that I'm pretty sure are fair use. I hope I'm not jacking anyone's textures and then showing them off. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all fair use. But the specular mapping for the cape is literally just the diffuse map, inversed black and white with a noise filter on it. That's literally all it is. I'm not digging it so far. I wanted something that looks a little more velvety. Same thing with the suit. I kind of want something a little more fabric-y than what it is that I got going on right now. But yeah, those are just some of the things that I've been working on. Let me know if you have any suggestions, or actually if you're smart and you know how to weight paint, then you should point me in the direction of how you figured out how to do that, because I do not know how to do that at all. At all. Even if there was like a little like iota of my brain that had that on lockdown, it's probably been consumed by other taxing issues, like foreign policy, right? How about that? How about foreign policy now, huh? Hashtag not my ISIS, But yeah, no, this is the Wizpig. Thanks for watching. If you got any helpful hints, tips, and tricks, then by all means, send them my way. I love hints, tips, tricks. Hold on, I'm just gonna do this for my own sake, and then, if you don't like it, you can suck my butt. Yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna look at this. Yeah, I don't know why this is weighted to this thing down here. I just want to get rid of that. Get it out of my face. But yeah, as you can see, the deformation is bad. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Drive safe. Don't drink and drive. Friends don't let friends drink and drive anyway. So, yeah, arrivederci.